My name is Keith, and from the time I was about 4 years old, I was interested in being a part of the entertainment business. And I've done many things throughout that time, from singing in bands, writing music, hosting television shows, everything involved in the professional wrestling business. And I've written comic books, done a lot of things, and almost all of those things failed in some way or another. But I still kept going, and I still wanted to continue to create. And there's just something in me that drives me to create. And I started thinking, what is it that drives anyone to create? And that's going to be the point of this podcast. We're going to talk to people from all aspects of the entertainment industry. We're going to find out what made them interested in creating art, and why, when faced with success, when faced with failure, the ups and downs of life and life in the entertainment business, they continue to create. So, and hopefully we'll have some good and interesting conversations along the way that you'll be interested in hearing. So tune in to the Most Excellent Entertainment Podcast. All right, so everybody, welcome to the Most Excellent Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Keith Miller, and we are here with Preston Medlock and Scott Foster Harris of Kickstand Jenny. And if you haven't heard Kickstand Jenny, you should. It's a fantastic album. I can't say enough good things about it. Let's just get started right now. I guess I'll direct this to whichever one of you guys want to. You can take turns answering the first question, because I've never really interviewed two people before, so we're going to have to navigate this together. So what exactly got...
Preston's better at speaking.
Okay, cool.
Preston's better at speaking, and he's overwhelmingly more charming than I am, so maybe he should probably kick it off.
Yeah, that works for me, man.
How about that?
That works for me. All right, so Preston, what got you interested in creating music?
In creating, well, when I was kid, I first started playing guitar at a young age. My father was in a gospel quartet with his brothers. They were called the Morlock Brothers. So we got to kind of go on the road with them and see how they operated. And I had two brothers. We were interested in the music, just not in the gospel quartet music.
Sure.
We kind of learned from them. We kind of saw how they operated. They made a good business out of it, and had their own songs. They were on the radio. They were doing their own thing. So that's kind of what got me in the business side of it.
Awesome. Okay.
Doing that idea, yeah.
And as far as playing guitar, like I saw that you mentioned Prince and Eddie Van Halen as influences. Is that correct? Like, yeah, they're pretty good influences to have.
Yeah, those are pretty good influences.
Yeah.
Always it's kind of like if you go to the gym, you don't want to work out with the weaklings, right?
Right, absolutely.
You work out with the strong guys, so you'll get strong. So I'll never be as good as those guys, but I can always look up to them. That'll help me.
I think Prince is
better.
Super underrated. I think people, it took people a while to really figure out what a great guitar player he was. Like, it was like, oh, he's a great singer. He writes these great compositions. Like, his songs are like big things, but like his guitar playing, I think got neglected in all of it for a while. But Prince is awesome, man. Like,
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Very talented, multi-instrumentalist. He can play virtually any instrument. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Very talented guy.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. So Scott, how about you? What got you interested in singing and creating music?
Girls.
Yeah, fair, dude. You are a good-looking man.
Where it all started.
I could see it. Right on, man.
Ironically, he doesn't need music.
Started there.
Yeah, I would think. Yeah. Right on, man.
Well, I didn't start taking advantage of my curlies until I got in my early 20s, and I grew my hair out long, and I realized, hey, I had long hair.
Nice.
I can use that for something.
Yeah, you might as well.
That's what started it, and then after I ran that route, and that loses its interest real quick. After I did that, I realized, man, I really like music a lot.
Heck yeah.
Like, that's the only thing that I really, 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 really like. That's not true. That's the only thing I really, 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 really like that I want to commit my life to.
Nice.
How about that?
Right on.
Yeah, man. That's how it all got going.
Very cool. So then, again, either one of you guys can take this. Once you decided this was what you wanted to do and you kind of had your direction, where'd you go from there?
Nashville.
Right on. From Texas, right? Or,
Yep.
yeah.
From the Dallas area. Born in Houston, but I grew up in Dallas.
Okay. And you headed out to Dallas and wrote songs, right? Is that
out to Nashville? Sure
out to
did.
Nashville?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, I went out there because that's, growing up here, I was really, country just actually, you know what? Country was what I was mostly exposed to in my youth.
Sure.
And it was, at least at the time, I thought it was probably the easiest thing to get going. So that's why I chose Nashville. Plus, I like Nashville. It's a cool city.
Yeah, for sure.
And started writing songs.
Awesome.
And I lucked into some cool situations. That's all it was.
Right.
And really got to enjoy life out there for a while doing that.
Nice. Very cool. All right, Preston, how about you?
Yeah, so back to the brothers, we would write songs. I mean, we would release albums. This is back in the day when you were recording on 4 tracks and stuff like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But we weren't smart enough to go to Nashville. So we would just do original stuff and try to get as many gigs as we could. And we were young kids. And then, so I moved to Florida many years ago, and I wanted to start a cover band.
Okay.
Because I tried so hard with this original band and just kept swinging and missing. And I was in the cover band it was a party band for a couple of years. And that's when I met Chas Sanford. It was actually at a songwriters festival. And he was like, hey, y'all need to, do a little more than this.
Right.
And so that's when when I got back into writing and stuff like that. So it was just I just needed someone to kick me in the ass to get back where I needed to get. So then, I was blessed enough to meet people like Scott Foster Harris and everyone else that I've been blessed to be with. And every little step just gets you that much better. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, cover bands are it's easy to get bookings as a cover band, but creatively, I mean, you always want to do more.
It sucks. I love it and hate it at the same time. I mean, you're right. If you want to go around and play covers, you can until you're 80,
right?
And still gig.
Yeah.
But the shot we're taking now is the days are limited.
Yeah.
When it comes to
sure. Yeah. All right. So Scott, sorry, didn't mean to.
I just said I have to prioritize a little better.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never been good.
Never been good at prioritizing. Yeah. It's an acquired skill, I guess.
Yeah.
So Scott, you were in a band called Zen Rising, right? And I tried like crazy to find music. I could find no music. I found a bunch of really cool press and things like that, but I couldn't find any Zen Rising online anywhere. So I was just wondering.
You won't.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. But
you won't find it. It was taken down years ago. You might can still find a few random YouTube there's still 1 or 2 YouTube videos up from back in the day.
Okay.
But all this stuff like on Apple and all that jazz, that all got taken down a number of years ago. It's a cool band now.
It's I mean, from what I can read,
probably
it
only
sounds
recorded a fifth of the music.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was neat. It was my baby when I got out of country. I was still in Nashville and put the band together. And I got into rock. I put the band together in Nashville and bought a 40-foot Fleetwood Bounder, and we all drove out to LA and lived in that thing for a while.
Man,
it was great.
Nice.
It was a really good band.
Yeah,
good dudes.
Cool. So, Scott, I talked to you a little bit about this on Twitter, but what kind of led me to Kickstand Jenny was I listened to the albums that you did with Tracy Guns, and I was really impressed with your voice.
Thanks, man.
Oh, no problem, man. I mean, you have that was what hooked me though. Like your voice, your tone is so good and you're so smooth. Like it's just and then you told me that
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome, man. And then you said that you had Kickstand Jenny going, so I checked that out and talked to Preston a little bit, bought the CD, which I love.
Thanks, man.
Oh, you're welcome, man. So just, what was the experience like working with Tracy Guns? I mean, he's honestly, LA Guns is, I'm 50 So LA Guns was one of my childhood, like, I loved that band. The first three albums especially. Like I love the dirty guitar that Tracy plays.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, what was it like working with Tracy?
Hmm. Uh, well, I was a singer in LA Guns for a little while
Right, I read that.
from
Did you guys
the
tour? Were you like
the
touring
first few
singer?
years in the 2010s. Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
We
Awesome.
toured. We never recorded an album as
Okay.
LA Guns.
Right.
Um, although I did help those guys put together their Christmas album when they got back with Phil a few years ago. I'm glad
Nice.
Tracy and Phil reunited. I always wanted them to reunite.
Yeah, Phil has
And
one of the classic
great,
voices.
great guys.
Yeah.
The experience working with those guys was he does, and one of the classic attitudes and vibes. He's just a good dude.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a good dude. And Tracy's a good dude. And when I was in the band, for a while, there was Chad was still the drummer, and then Donnie came back and was the drummer for a good while
Okay.
when I was in the band. But it was always a wonderful experience. Tracy's lovely. He's a
Nice.
funny
Nice.
guy, sarcastic guy, excellent guitar player. Has his
Yeah.
own style. It's very unique and signature. And it was a joy for me because I was always the young one in the band, so I got to, I guess, party extra hard, if you want to call it that.
Nice. Nice.
You know, but
Awesome.
I enjoyed it. And then during that time or towards the end of that, Tracy and I got the League of Gentlemen going, which were the albums that you heard probably.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That was it.
And
Yeah.
it was a joy. It's
Awesome.
easy to make music with him and those guys. It's they're good dudes. They're open to just about anything, and they're capable of putting stuff together. And we got to record those albums, and at least the first one, part of the second one, in Steve Vai's old studio in the Mothership up in the hills.
Awesome.
And who was the engineer? Greg Worth engineered that. So that's probably the reason why you think I sound so good. Greg would be the reason why, because
Right on.
he was the engineer. So that's
Awesome.
the only reason why.
Ah, man.
And I got to record on a bunch of old school gear. I got to record onto some tape for a
Yeah.
few of the songs. So
Nice.
that's
Nice.
it was a
More
joyful
space.
experience from A to Z.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
I'm telling you, man. There's something. Recording on tape is different because
Yeah.
there's something about that natural magnetic compression that's just so forgiving.
Yeah.
Tonally, pitch wise, timing wise, it doesn't matter. Like it's just if you listen to classic records, especially from the 60s and 70s, when they were tracking through the Neves and even the predecessors,
Yeah.
the Red stuff over in Abbey Road, you listen to that stuff and you can hear there's via guitars, strings that are way out of tune, vocals that are way out of tune, but it doesn't matter. It's not
Right.
offensive
Right.
like
Right.
it is now. When you
Right.
hear those same out of tune elements on a digital recording,
It's
it's
jarring.
offensive when you hear
Yeah.
it. You don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But on that tape, it's something about the way it glues it and just brings it all together. It makes it okay, and you don't even realize it unless you're listening for it.
Right.
It's a superior medium in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I had the privilege of getting to record a bunch of stuff that way
That's
with the
awesome.
league,
Very
and
cool.
it was great.
Very cool, man. Awesome. So Preston, how did you go about putting Kickstand Jenny together? Because you're the founding member, right? Is that correct to say?
Yeah, it's been me all along with a bunch of other guys. But I was kind of at the end of my ropes. So I was putting together this album. It was kind of be my final go at it. And
Yeah.
it was a concept album. It was during COVID. I was wanting it to be about the end of music, and that's if you listen to the songs. And with that in mind, that's what the album is about. The end
Okay.
of
Okay.
my love for music, basically. It plays like a relationship. But I
Right,
guess
because I heard relationships when I listened to it, but yeah,
yeah,
now I'll
yeah.
have to do it
It's like the
again.
death of music during COVID. So I was gonna just get with Chas Sanford, and we were just gonna do like a bunch of stuff for promotions, or try to get some publishing deals or whatever.
Right.
Never really was planning on doing a full blown album. So I looked up a few guys. That's why we have Mark Slaughter on there. He had
Yeah.
agreed to do a song, and then had Scott and a couple other guys from Nashville. And when we got, so I knew of Scott because we actually played with LA Guns previously, and
Okay.
they'd had new guy or their original guy back. So I was a little apprehensive about reaching out to Scott. So Scott did a couple songs, and we started running the tracks in the studio, and Chaz was like, "Okay, who's this guy?" He's like, "I can tell a professional when I hear one." He's like, "This is your guy."
Yeah.
He's like, "You need to go home. If you don't do anything, you go home tonight and you call him up and you see if he'll do this whole thing."
Right on.
And that's what I did. I called him up. I'm like, "Hey, let me." And Scott's, it's very gracious, very nice guy. And Scott's like, "Well, just send me what you got." And I think it was that night or the next day. He's like, "Yeah, I want to do this."
Awesome.
So then it became a whole new thing. Then it went from, okay, maybe this isn't the end of it for me. You know what I mean? So we bring in Scott, and then had Chris McCombs was the bass player. He's been with me for 10 years. We all go up to Nashville, and God, we spent on and off a good year working on these and just kind of perfecting it and seeing what direction we want to go. And before you know it, we got a great band with a great album. So we're like, okay, this has to go somewhere. We got to do something. Then I start shopping it around. We get the record deal from Spectra Music, which is a pretty good label.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And just started kind of snowballing. So here we are. So, and that's why
awesome.
the last two songs on the album is kind of like the rise of the Phoenix after the death.
Yeah.
So we put in that Jumpin' Jack Flash is kind of like our bounce back. So, because honestly, once I met Scott, once we started working together, my whole vision changed. The burnout kind of was behind me.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, awesome. You guys seem to have pretty compatible personalities, man. So I feel like that's probably a good dynamic in the band.
Man, it's all the heavy drinking that we did together allowed us to really bond.
Awesome.
Yeah, listen, I've played with a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And most of your singers you got to kind of walk on eggshells. Most of your guys, you've heard of LSD, lead singer's disease, and all this. And you never know what you're going to get. And Scott's not like that, man. He had a rough time getting down to our first meeting down in Nashville.
Yeah.
It was the whole thing. It was like a 24-hour trip before he could get to us. And I'm expecting this guy to walk in and be like, "You bunch of blokes, I fucking hate you all," or something. But I didn't know what to expect. He comes in, with big smiles, big hugs. And it was just, it was
awesome.
From the get-go. It was awesome. Yeah. So great experience all the way around.
So, you guys, you actually touched on a couple things that I wanted to talk about. So might as well get into it. Mark Slaughter, his vocals on that song, Solo, is that the one he's on?
Yeah.
They're really gritty. Like, I'm used to him more singing in the higher range and kind of, Fly to the Angels Up All Night type stuff. Whose choice was it for him to sing like that? I mean, because I've never really heard him sing like that. I was really impressed.
Well, so the way I did these demos, and the vocals were already done by other people, and he was able to choose. So I think he kind of emulated what was already there, but at the same time, he wanted to do something different. If he releases a Slaughter album, he has to be Mark Slaughter, right?
Right.
With this, he could kind of do what he wanted, and it was kind of neat. He picked Solo. We sent him 4 songs. He picked that one because he said it reminded him of the band he was in called the Vinnie Vincent Invasion.
Sure. Yeah, Kiss.
With Kiss. Vinnie Vincent was in Kiss at one time or another.
Right. The Lick It Up album.
Yeah, and so it kind of reminded him the Lick It Up. So it kind of reminded him of that band.
Right.
That was Vegas. It was a band in Vegas. And ironically, it's a song about leaving a bad situation and going solo, which is what he did.
Right.
When he left them, he started Potter. So it's kind of an ironic twist.
Right.
That's a full circle moment. But yeah, he really enjoyed that song, and it's cool because a lot of people don't know that's his lead vocal. I've had people go, "Wow, yeah, it sounds good on the backups." I'm like, "No, that's him."
Yeah, I was trying to listen.
The whole song.
I was trying to listen, like who's doing the harmony. Like I was like, his voice sounds really cool on the track. Like I've never heard him sing like that.
It's all him.
Nice. That's awesome. Good deal.
Yeah.
So
honestly, that song should be more recognized because it's something that you won't get a chance to hear if you're a Slaughter,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. It's a great song. So one thing, like, I know you guys are sort of being represented as an alternative rock band, but when I listen to the music, I really hear like a lot of 80s hard rock and southern rock influences. Is that fair to say? I mean, or
Yeah,
that's what I hear. I mean,
it's fair to me, man.
all right, cool.
That's what
Right
that's
on.
what I grew up on.
Awesome. Awesome.
You
Yeah, I
know,
just,
like I said, the Van Halen,
yeah,
all that hair metal stuff. I loved it all.
me too,
I loved it
honestly.
all.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, you'll hear a lot of that influence from me. And I don't know, Scott, what do you think, man?
Well, I think I
Yeah.
tried to sneak a little Dolly Parton influence in there without anybody noticing.
Hey, I love Dolly
Little
Parton.
polka.
Vocals are good.
70s.
Weird
Scott's a
Al, right?
70s guy too, so
Yeah.
he likes the older stuff. So.
Nice, nice. So,
Dolly couldn't play the accordion. Her
yeah,
arm,
yeah, it'd
you
probably
know.
just be way too far, hard on her arms. I actually really
Yeah, you
like that
can't do it.
Rockstar
Can't do
album.
it.
It's long as
She
crap,
could
but
play just about everything else, though.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
talented lady, yeah, for sure. So, you mentioned Jumpin' Jack Flash. Like, I really like how you guys slowed that down and made it sort of a bluesy tune. That was really cool. And then after that, you've got the Blue Murder cover, and I love that Blue
Hmm.
Murder album. So good.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Man, like
It's
so, and it's not as well known. Like some people might hear that song and think it's your
right.
guys' song. Yeah. But what
Yeah,
made
that was kind of the goal on
yeah,
that.
right on. I saw you change the name, and then I was like, oh, this is Blue Murder, man. Um,
Well, it was called Jelly Roll. Like
yeah,
I
right.
was always the kind of guy. Now things are different now, but when I'd go to a CD store, right
Yeah.
back then, the store we went was called Cats. I think there was a record bar in the mall,
Okay.
and I would look at greatest hits albums, and I'd read the song, and then if it's, oh yeah, I know that one because of the name.
Right.
Who's
Right.
Jelly Roll and
Yeah.
go,
Who's
oh
looking for
yeah,
Jelly
that's
Roll?
that Love Can Break Your Heart song, you
Right.
know.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that's why I wanted to change the name on that. Had nothing to do with tricking anybody. It's just, oh yeah, that's that song. Just
Right.
more for recognition of the song. So
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
And we needed a 10th song for the album, so.
Right. So throw it on there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
what made you decide to do those covers? Um,
The Well, one's really well known,
right.
and one is very obscure, but should be well known because it's a really cool song. Um, but yeah, kind of going back to what you were saying, a lot of people might think it's ours, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
The Rolling Stones song, it's one of those, if you do a song like Jumpin' Jack Flash, you either got to do it a lot better or a lot different.
Right.
So I'm not saying we did it better, but we definitely did it different.
Yeah.
So
Ain't gonna do it better than the Stones.
Yeah, for
no,
sure,
no.
man.
No.
Yeah.
So it's different enough to stand out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's recognizable.
Right. The
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 the Blue Murder song was more of a challenge for me. There's actually 9 guitar parts on there, man. I just had a good time with
right.
this, and it's like an open C tuning. It's a weird ass tuning on some of the guitars,
Right.
but it was more of just a fun thing for me. And we got Jim Riley from Rascal Flatts play the
Right.
drums on it, so it's just one of those just fun. It was a. Can we cuss on your show?
Yeah, that's fine, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, it was a fun fuck around song, and we just
Right
had
on.
fun with it,
Awesome.
and we just built it up, and we were able to mess around because it was the last song on the album. We just needed an extra song,
Yeah.
and it was one we were able to experiment with and have fun with.
Nice, nice. So, is Jim Riley the same guy who played on a bunch of melodic rock albums, or did he only drum for Rascal Flatts? Do you know?
I don't know. I
Because I
have
was
no idea.
okay. I'm gonna have to look into that a little more because I was looking up Jim Riley, the drummer, and found like 10 albums by obscure melodic rock bands that had a drummer named Jim Riley on them. So I was wondering if maybe he went around and played drums on a
It
few
could,
That's
different.
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, Jim Riley's not the most uncommon name, so it could be somebody else, but yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It could be. He does a lot of stuff. You know, Chaz, the producer, he knows everybody. So we actually brought in 3 different drummers for that song, and we were able to pick what we liked the best. With Jim, I think his connection with Rascal Flatts was the main reason
Right, right.
because of the name recognition. The other 2 guys did a great job too, but yeah, that was again we were just messing around, and coming up with some cool ideas and fun stuff. But
What if
he's
what
that
if
guy.
it turned out What if it just so happened to be like 10 different Jim Rileys
That would be
played
insane.
on all those melodic rock songs?
That would be insane. He's just there's just Jim Rileys everywhere.
Listen, if there's another one, we need to get him for the next album.
Heck yeah. So, is there any
Find
plans
all the
to
Jim Rileys?
Yeah,
Start
get
a
them
band
all in a
called the Jim
room.
Rileys.
The Jim Rileys. Heck yeah. Is there any plans to tour behind the album? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
You want that one, Scott?
What was the question?
Oh, I was wondering if there was
there's
any
a bit of a
plans to
breakup, so I
tour
didn't quite
behind the
hear.
album.
Any plans to tour behind the album?
Yeah.
We would love to.
Cool.
The numbers have to be there, and the circumstances, the stars have to align, but we would love to.
Right. Well, if
We're
you come
gonna
to
we're going up in the fall. We're going to be recording a whole nother handful of songs,
Oh, nice.
either as a bunch of individual singles that we might put out later as like the singles EP or something along those lines.
Okay.
But in between now and then, if circumstances are such that it makes sense, yep, we'd love to tour.
Awesome.
And then after that, I would imagine a tour would be more likely to manifest after this next handful of songs comes to fruition.
Okay.
But we're open to anything and everything, as long as everything makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
and doesn't get in the way of the recording schedule.
right. Well, I was just going to say, if you guys come to Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, anywhere in that triangle, you'll have one ticket sold at least. So, because I'll be there. So
We got that one.
Heck yeah. Right on.
We'll bring you some Twisted Teas.
Heck yeah. Awesome.
What are those? What are those, Preston? By the way, I was wondering what those were. Is that an IPA?
No, it's that.
Yeah, it's like alcoholic tea.
I bought
Yeah.
them.
Oh, I think everybody just froze up for a second.
Yeah,
Okay.
I bought them for the beach, and I haven't been to the beach yet for 4th of July, and they're almost gone. Pretty good.
Nice.
I use they're
Happens.
good for a weapon too. Have you seen that video?
Yeah, the Twisted Tea. That's the first
They make
thing
a good
anybody thinks
defensive-
about now. Yeah, is the guy smacking the other guy in the head with the Twisted Tea.
Hey, no one messes with me. That's why I'm drinking them all the time. Nobody
Yeah.
messes with me, man.
Yeah, man, don't mess with a guy
If
carrying
they
a
see you
Twisted
walk around
Tea.
one of these, nobody messes with you. It's like having a gun on your holster.
Yeah.
Right on. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap
So
things up.
actually,
man,
Keith,
but-
we're going to be
go
in
ahead.
New York.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. No, I was just going to say we're going to be recording with the guys from Tesla. We're going to be recording up in there at in their studio up in
Oh, very
I don't
cool.
remember what town. It's in New York. So
Okay. Cool.
hopefully we can get on some shows with those guys.
Yeah, that'd be
yeah,
great.
that'd be fun. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
They're on tour right now, so I mean, yeah, we could
They're
hop
cool.
on something.
cool guys.
Yeah, I'm from upstate
Right,
New York
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
so I'm a little familiar with the area.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, I was born in Syracuse
Our
and raised
original-
in Ithaca, so
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. Now I'm
Yeah.
stuck out here in the Midwest, but it's all right.
Well, I'll let you know, we may still go to Sweetwater for a day or two. That's still, we haven't called that off yet. So, I mean, even if we just go to shop, we might be up that way. It's in Indiana. You know
Right
what part
on.
of Indiana?
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
so I'm in Connorsville, which is a real small town in southeastern Indiana. It's like 45 minutes out of Ohio, 2 hours out of Kentucky, about 2 hours south of
Okay.
Indianapolis.
Okay.
Not a lot going on out here, but I'm trying, man. I ran a wrestling company out here for a while.
Nice.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, so I'm
Nice.
trying to give people
Not many
stuff
people
to do.
can say that.
Yeah, I mean it was fun. I started running shows in 2008, so I did it for a long time. I just quit last year, so it was a good
wow.
time. It was a good time. And I used to sing in bands and stuff, and that kind of got me interested. I've written probably 300 songs. Never really did anything
Yeah,
with
man.
it. But it got me interested
but-
in seeing what makes other people want to create, because despite the fact
Yeah.
that my stuff never really took off, the wrestling definitely did better than the music, but neither one of them did all that great.
Yeah.
But
They're both
but I never
fucked
wanted to
up.
stop. I still kept wanting to create, and I still kept wanting to do stuff. So I wanted to see what got other people wanting to create. So that's kind of what the whole idea behind this thing is. So yeah.
I love it. That's wonderful, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think on that note,
Just don't stop.
yeah. I'm honestly, you know what's crazy? Like the podcast has got me interested. I've been talking to so many people. Like now I'm getting fired up again to do something on my own. So we'll see what happens, man. Other than the podcast, you know?
Good.
Yeah. Right on.
Don't
Keep
do
us
it.
posted as to anything and everything you get involved with. Keep us
I will,
posted,
for
man.
sure.
We'd love to support
I appreciate
in any way
it,
that we
guys.
can.
Thank you so much. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
this
man.
has been such a big deal for me. I know I said it before he came on, but I'm a big fan. I love your guys' music. I can't wait to hear more. And I think everybody
brother.
should check you guys out. Like, I think there's something for everybody in the music that you make. So, yeah, you're welcome, and I'm excited. Thank you guys so much for
Thank you,
coming
man.
on.
Thank you.
If there's anything you want to say before we hop off, plug in socials or anything like that, or go right ahead.
Well,
Take it away. Preston.
yeah, I mean, you can find anything on our website. All the links to the songs, to the streaming, to the videos, and our YouTube's taken off. We're about almost 300,000 subscribers already in just not even a year.
Yeah.
And
It's awesome.
nuts.
Yeah,
So
I meant to talk about the videos. I completely forgot. I'm sorry. Yeah, but you guys have some really cool videos
That's
on
all right.
YouTube. I actually spent a whole afternoon just watching them
man.
all and checking them out. Like, I love the Jumpin' Jack Flash video, the black and white. It's killer. So
Yeah. That was fun to make.
yeah, looks really good.
yeah,
So,
there's more. There'll be more.
heck yeah, awesome.
There will be more. So
Nice.
we just got
All right,
to
guys.
save up that money for.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, yeah, because your videos are high quality. Like, it's not just something that was shot on somebody's iPhone. So I'm impressed.
Right.
I mean, honestly, I was impressed
Yeah,
by
I'll
the
plug
videos.
this guy, Keone Tour, man. He's in Nashville. He did a killer job for us, and he's ready to make some more. So
Yeah, awesome.
but he's up there in Nashville doing some awesome photography and videos and stuff like that. So really cool guy.
Very cool.
We're
Awesome.
blessed to have met him.
Awesome. All right. So before I go, I want to thank my producer, Tyler Martin. I couldn't do this without him. I know nothing about Zoom calls or web cameras or anything. So Tyler Martin, ME Studios, he's the guy who makes all this happen. I just talk. So, and I want to thank you guys again, and best of luck in the future, man. This has been really, really cool. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you, brother.
Likewise. Thank you, Keith.
All right, you guys
Appreciate
stay
You
buddy.
as well, man.
awesome. Thank you.
See you soon. All right.
For sure.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.